The Local Show, featuring conversations with business owners, employees, and local business leaders about their successes, challenges, and reasons for doing business. Right here in Central New York. The Local Show is locally produced by Zoey Advertising. Now your hosts, Tom and Steve.
Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen. This is the winter edition, the 2024 winter edition of The Local Show. I'm your host, Tom Soccocio Jr., along with my friend and co-host, Steve Roberts. The Local Show features conversations about local businesses. Now, we talk to the owners, CEOs, CFOs, entrepreneurs, nonprofits, some business advocates, and other business-friendly organizations around town. We learn how they got into business and why they do business right here in Syracuse, New York, and where their businesses might be going in the future. You're going to hear all about their successes, their challenges, opportunities, marketing, and advertising. We're broadcasting from the Zoey Advertising Studios, sponsored by Safe Harbor, Wills and Trusts, and we're also on YouTube. If you really want to, spice up your weekend, check that out. You can see Steve sporting his, blue shirt now, teal shirt.
Well, it was towards the back of the closet a little bit.
Yeah, it looks it.
That's very nice.
So, it's like, okay, because I like the red one. I don't know.
Yeah.
The red one has.
I haven't seen the red one, have I?
Yes, you see it every week, Tom. It just proves that you don't.
I thought you wore like a fleece usually.
No, I don't. Yeah, Tom, pay attention, will you?
Actually, sometimes I don't even know you're in the room.
Oh my! It's weird. Back in the day when you were spinning records and I was photographing weddings back in the '80s. I would come home all day from shooting a wedding, and Judy was like, "So, what color were the dresses?"
Oh yeah, right.
Because you get you're focused on the people
on different things. Yes,
and that wasn't. I
sure.
didn't. It was. I was doing my job and I was doing a great job, being creative. But the color didn't matter to me.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah. When you, yep.
Yeah. But I bought it. Just so you know, we've changed your email address.
My email.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You used to be Tom at Zoey Advertising. Tom.
Yes. No.
Now you're a Skinny Tom. We've changed it since you went all carnivore.
Right.
And we saved on space on the hard drive because you take up less room on the
Oh, I see.
So congratulations. You're looking great, Tom. Look at you go.
Yeah, Dr. Barry was happy.
With you?
Yeah.
That's a first.
Yeah. He said, good, keep going in the right direction. He made me bring Kelly in. He wanted to know the truth of how I was feeling and everything like that.
Well, seriously, though, that's been something you've been trying to do for a long time. And kudos to you for doing it.
It's very simple to not eat anything and spend 3 hours in the gym every day. And anybody can do it.
Well, it's working, buddy. It's working.
All right. Hey, we got a great lineup of guests today. Mary Beth Anderson's going to join us. She's Community Relations Director at Meals on Wheels in Syracuse. Jane Senke stops by, co-owner of Senke CNY Garage Door. Amanda Vitale will talk to us about the CNY Regional Market because she is the Executive Director. Jason Eichen is the COO at Rubberstone, New York. We'll get his perspective on Rubberstone, New York. Donna Shane, the co-owner of Syracuse Dog Fence. She'll be by, and we'll talk about my anecdotal stories.
Is she bringing Stan, or is it just Tom?
She might bring Stan. Okay. I think Stan likes to drive her in.
I think so, yeah.
And drive her crazy. George Powers is the owner of Powers Accounting. He'll stop by. Sheila Ostrom, owner of Senior Home Care and Alzheimer Solutions, along with Norm Whiteman, who is the president of Wight-Ox Enterprises, and he brings us the New York Sportsman Expo. So we'll talk to him as well. All on the Local Show today. Good morning, Mary Beth Anderson. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Good morning to both of you, and thank you for having me here.
Great. I don't know you from Adam.
She's not Adam.
So, why don't you give our listeners a little background? What's your professional background? Are you from here, from the area?
So I am not from here.
No.
I grew up in Michigan.
Oh, in Michigan.
Yes, then go Lions, right?
Yeah.
Yes,
and
you got out. That's good.
What do they say about Michigan is the home of 1,000 lakes?
It is.
Yeah,
There's
maybe we could send Steve out there.
You would like it there. There's a lot of lakes, a lot of fishing.
Yeah, good.
Yes. So, I've been in Syracuse about 13 years, moved here from Seattle, Washington.
Oh, golly. So you went from Michigan all the way to the west part of the United States.
And now here all the way over to the east.
Golly.
Right? Yeah, so it's been pretty good.
Yeah.
So I've been here, 13 years. I've worked in nonprofits since I've been here.
Yeah.
My background is in development and helping. I worked for the Y, I worked for ACR Health, I worked for Elmcrest, and now I'm working for Meals on Wheels of Syracuse.
Golly, yeah. So your whole life's been dedicated to serving others.
That's right, exactly.
Through nonprofits.
Yes. Yep.
Very nice. So Meals on Wheels in Syracuse, what's the mission?
So the mission is to make sure that we are feeding the homebound individuals, anybody who is a senior or if they have any type of a disability, and we want to make sure that they're getting healthy and nutritious food. So we're the third largest, or the third organization here for Meals on Wheels out of the state. And we're one of the largest. We serve on an average daily basis about 900 meals a day.
That's a lot of meals.
That's a lot of meals.
So that's 900 people, or is it times two? Or?
It's times two. So they get a cold meal and a hot meal. Sometimes people will get multiple meals if they want to have weekend meals. We deliver blizzard packs. So for those folks that are...
Blizzard packs? Is that ice cream?
Yeah, it does sound like it.
I want a blizzard pack.
Yeah, the blizzard pack is for those folks. So when we can't get out, if there's inclement weather, we want to make sure that they're able to eat. So we have about 750 clients that we serve on a regular basis.
That is a lot.
Yeah.
You probably need a lot of drivers for that, right?
We need a lot of drivers. We need a lot of drivers on it. So this organization, we only have 18 staff. We have 46 volunteers on a daily basis. So we have 16 volunteers in the kitchen, and we have 30 drivers.
So there's different Meals on Wheels. They're all because they cover different regions. So you're Syracuse. So I'll go ahead. Does that cover just Syracuse? What is the Syracuse territory cover? So where do you deliver? We
deliver all the way out to Skinny Atlas. We deliver out to the Onondaga Nation, Nedrow. We have part of Camillus. We have all of Syracuse. So we're a little bit, we're the largest one, but we go out quite a ways. We have 2 drivers that take the further routes, so the people that are out in Skinny Atlas or Nedrow. So that's by a driver that works for us. But other than that, everybody else, it's the other 30 routes are all by volunteers.
How do you attract people to volunteer?
Well, that's why I'm here right now.
No,
right?
They come on the local show.
That's right.
Well, but people have to hear about it. So there you go.
That's right. Yeah. So people do have to know. And the one nice thing about it is that we can work with anybody. It's not a huge obligation. You can work one day a week, a month, every other week. I'm trying to see if we can get the word out there to organizations to try to help us. So businesses, before COVID, we had a lot of organizations that were helping us on a regular basis. So we do some tabling. We've had some advertising that we've...
What's tabling?
So we'll have tabling events where we'll go to an organization or the YMCA or something along those lines, trying to recruit people to try to help us.
I feel better, Tom, because I didn't know what that was. So I go, well, of course, it's tabling. So thank you for circling around. So you set a table up somewhere and talk to the staff or the employees.
Yeah. Or the people that visit.
Yeah,
it makes sense.
That's tabling.
That's tabling. There you go. That's tabling.
So you talk about nutritious meals. Do people have a choice of what to order? Like, could I order, a T-bone steak or something like that, or is it you get what you get on the menu?
No, you're able to choose. It is by a dietitian though, and they make sure that you're having nutritious and healthy meals. We can. If people have to have a liquid diet, we can service them. If they're a vegetarian or they're a diabetic, we can help, make sure that we're able to take care of them. So in our kitchen, all of those individuals are constantly, they're making, the meals based on whatever that individual needs.
Now, you're the community relations director. Is there somebody above you, or do you run the whole organization?
No, I should. I'm just kidding. No, there is our executive director is Mason Kaufman, so he runs the whole show.
He runs the show. So you're like but you're kind of the face of it to the public. Is that fair?
That would be fair. Yeah.
Okay. How is it funded?
How are we funded? We get some funding through government funding through SNAP programs, things along those lines. But we also do rely on individuals to help support us. There are individuals that do not qualify for any type of a grant or are under the age of Social Security. Yeah. So those folks fall between the cracks, and we have to fundraise for them. So we rely on, private individuals and corporations to help fund us for that.
Well, you do a wonderful job at what you do, and we're so happy to have an organization like yours.
And they got a really cool website URL, meals.org.
That's right.
I think
that's easy enough,
how simple is that?
That's right.
So meals.org, folks can go there. Can they donate there too if they wanted to?
They sure can. They can volunteer, donate. find out more. If you need meals, you can go there as well.
Great. Well, it's good to meet you, and you have a great rest of the day. I hope you come back again.
Thank you so much for having me. You guys have a great day as well.
Awesome. Here comes Jane Senke. She's the co-owner of Senke CNY Garage Door. We'll learn all about that industry next on The Local Show on 570 WSYR. Stick around.
The Local Show, featuring conversations with business owners, employees, and local business leaders about their successes, challenges, and reasons for doing business. Right here in Central New York. The Local Show is locally produced by Zoey Advertising. Now your hosts, Tom and Steve.
Swimming upstream with Tom and Steve right here on The Local Show.
What are you, a salmon?
Thank you for being here.
Swimming? What's the stream, Tom?
Isn't that funny? I was thinking of salmon when I said that.
You know what? I think we've known each other too long, maybe.
I was thinking of it.
They're catching steelhead up in the Salmon River and stuff. I see them posting. Nice. They're beautiful. They're tasty. I just don't want to freeze while I'm fishing. I'm they got their
You're
hands
fair
in
weather.
I really am kind of a fair weather fisherman. But
I don't know, once again, I think there's a lot of bones in even steelhead.
If you clean it right, it's not like...
Well, they have places that'll smoke them. So I've never had smoked. I would like to try that. I think that I would enjoy that.
Up at camp, a neighbor did some lake trout once.
Yeah.
Smoked it.
He smoked it?
It was the nastiest stuff.
It
was like, oh, isn't this good? I'm looking like, can I throw this in the bushes? It was awful.
Hey, I never told you. I got a Ninja double oven. So I can do the, what do you call it, dehydrating now.
You did?
Yeah, so I'm going to try to do the dehydration.
Bring it in. Can you do it here?
No, you're not going to bring it in.
Okay, so if I give you some meat, you'll dehydrate it?
Yeah, let's give it a shot.
Okay, everyone just heard that.
Right.
So...
Funny thing, I had to buy a special machine, and my wife's been dehydrating the meat forever.
Honey, take it out of the oven. It's cooked.
Oh, I'm just kidding, sweetie. All right. Hey, look, it's our pleasure to bring Jane Senke back on the show. She's the co-owner of Senke CNY Garage Door. How are you?
I'm great, thank you.
That's great to see you.
Thank you for having me.
Well, it's good to have you. So, I have a Senke Garage Door.
Do you really?
Dave Allen has a Senke Garage Door.
Boy, all the cool
kids got Senke Garage Doors.
So do you realize? So here's my theory. Tell me if I'm wrong.
Hey, go ahead. You're wrong.
Don't use the doorbell anymore. People coming in and out. But if you hear the garage door going up, you're like, oh, who's here? Somebody's here. It's like, is it one of the kids? You hear the door going up.
Well, here's the beauty of it. The door is installed so perfectly, and I mean this, and it has a wonderful door opener on it that I can barely hear the thing.
Seriously?
When it goes on. Yeah.
Our old garage door, the house would shake. The neighbors would complain.
Yeah.
Really?
The whole house would shake before. But no, this is really good, very aesthetically pleasing. Would you say, Jane, that garage doors are one of the best things you can do to the house for the curb appeal?
Yeah, it is.
She sells garage doors. What do you expect her to say? Well, no, I don't think it makes a difference at all. That's the dumbest thing ever. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No. There's been a lot of write-ups that the garage door does make the best appeal for the house.
Right,
It's a big focal point on most houses because it's big and it's right in the front. And, there's been a lot of articles about that.
But when they're nasty, that's what you see.
Yeah, oh yeah.
You go down and when it's like, okay, it just...
Some of the old wooden ones all falling apart.
You're describing my old garage door at the old house, right? So it was just, you put it together, and I wasn't going to replace it because it wasn't broken, worth... you could fix it, but it's ugly.
Mm-hmm.
And mine is it? Well, you call it steel, but is it aluminum?
Nope, it's steel.
It's steel. Okay, and it's insulated.
It's insulated.
So I've noticed a huge difference in the heat, just in the house in general, because when that space is a little warmer, it transfers to the whole house. Everything's a little warmer.
Nobody's hit it yet. One of the kids haven't hit it.
Oh, don't even start with me. I hope not.
That couldn't happen, could it?
I'm waiting for one of them to do that. That'll be freaking out.
Does that happen? Do people freak out when somebody bumps? I mean, when that happens, that's got to be like.
Oh yeah. We get a lot of calls on that.
Can you replace just a panel?
Yes.
Like, okay, that's good to know. And not that I want to.
Well, Nick is driving now, isn't he?
Yes, he is. And that's scary. Yeah, he took his last driving lesson, as a matter of fact.
Really?
Yes, he took his last one, so he'll be doing his road test soon.
And the teacher said...
Good. No, he's doing good. He's very responsible.
He's a good kid.
I hate to say it, but he's good. So, Jane, how long has Senke CNY Garage Door been around?
this year is our 50th anniversary.
Oh, okay. Well, happy anniversary.
Thank you.
50.
Yeah. We're very excited. We're trying to think of ways to promote it and just be so proud that third generation owners and 50 years, there's not a lot of companies that stay in business that long or can say that. So.
1974, did I do that right? So that's math, Tom. I know you can do it. So 1974, so Nixon was in trouble, hadn't resigned right in that period, before Jimmy Carter and oil prices.
You're a walking history channel.
But hang on, but that was the reason I said that was started at a pretty interesting, tough economic time. It wasn't like you were riding a wave. The family, I mean, that was hard times.
Yeah. Grandpa he worked for a garage door company, and he decided that he wanted to start his own. So he went out and started a garage door company.
Yeah, I went by your place the other day.
Oh, great.
I can't make eye contact to Tom when he said this because he's looking at it. So one of my good friends, Randy, they live right up in Manoa. So I go by and it sits right there. You got quite a big space.
Yeah. Yeah, we've had the building for over 30 years.
Yeah.
And we expanded and added another building about 4 or 5 years ago.
Right. Yeah. Right near the railroad tracks in East Syracuse. Yes.
Correct.
Very nice. Now, that bridge doesn't bother me. I go over that all the time. I wave to the trains.
I've wanted to, on a good weather day, take photos of the trains with a long
it's
lens.
kind of cool.
But you got to park like way down by where you are. You can't just like park on the bridge.
Well, maybe they'll let you use the parking lot.
We cut over there to Judy and I walk over to Green Lake, so we go by going over to Green Lakes and things.
So, new and modern things that are happening in the world of garage doors. What can you tell people?
Just colors. They keep trying to come out with new colors to get people to be interested in the change and designs.
Textures too, or
not really textures. They're all more wood grain, so they feel or look like the old wood doors, that were very popular. That's all there really was. So, as far as textures, no, that's. They pretty much all just the wood grain. There's a few that are very flat.
Yes.
So there's no wood grain at all. It's just a smooth finish, but mostly they're all, I think that everyone wants the old look.
The look.
And people look at it and say, oh, it's a wood door. But it's
have things gotten weird? Like Tom bought a refrigerator that is like an iPad electronic hooked up to an app. Are garage doors in that space, or are we still, do we have the button and we synchronize it and we're good? Or have they gone to crazy levels of technology?
The openers have the technology. They have the Wi-Fi. You can do it from your computer. You can do it from your phone. There's a way, like if you set it up, you could have Amazon have a key to get into your garage to deliver your packages, so they're not left outside.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's
so much.
Really? So, because who's there and they leave it and people steal packages and things?
Sure. How much of your business is repair? If somebody has a different, manufacturer, will you come out and repair?
Yes, probably about half. I would say it depends on the season. Like right now, we do a lot more repairs than we do new. In the summer, it seems we do a lot more new than we do repairs. People use their garages a lot more in the winter, so there's a lot more repairs to be done.
Yeah.
Does the cold cause things to break more, or is it just that they're using it more in the winter?
It seems like it. I mean, and yes, they are using it more, but I think the cold makes the springs break, which is a big repair that we do, and you have to have springs to run the door. So
I wanted to make sure that the door was lubed up properly, so I was at one of the big box stores looking for lithium grease and things like that. Man, there's a lot of products.
Yeah.
I can't believe it. Now they're labeling it garage door lubricant, and they have like a whole stack of it, and I'm like, wow.
I didn't even know there was such a thing, Tom. Does that surprise you?
Yeah, no. Well, I wanted something that I could, I wanted to use something on the garage door and then be able to use it for my steak as well. So spray a little of it on both sides and it's all good.
Oh, my goodness. So do people think about replacing their garage door unless it's broken? I mean, do they is it one of those things, you know what, we should do that? Or does it really have to collapse or have one of Tom's kids drive into it to change it?
No, a lot of people do. They just want to change the look of their house. They want something different.
Yeah.
And they, replace it.
Does the guy want it or does the lady want it? Who wants a new garage door?
It's hard to say. People come in, the guys say, the boss has to make the decision, and then he points to his wife, or, or
that kind of stuff.
Yeah, the guys come in and just say, I'm buying this, and
Availability still good for you?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're good on getting them.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that if somebody comes in and said they heard you on the local show, you'll take care of them on price and everything?
Absolutely.
Excellent.
Double it. They double it, Tom. I know Tom. Oh, that'll cost you.
A great family business that's out there making it better for us and making our houses look better. It's Jane Senke and Senke CNY Garage Door. Thank you so much for being here, Jane.
Thank you for having me.
All right. It's Senkes.com. So that's SENKES.com. Check them out. Amanda Vitale is coming up next. She's the executive director of the CNY Regional Market. We'll talk everything regional market on the local show on 570 WSYR.
The Local Show, featuring conversations with business owners, employees, and local business leaders about their successes, challenges, and reasons for doing business. Right here in Central New York. The Local Show is locally produced by Zoey Advertising. Now your hosts, Tom and Steve.
We're back again, and that means that you are too. You have found Tom and Steve and The Local Show right here on 570 WSYR 106.9 FM, as well as on YouTube. You can check out the guests.
That whole now on 106.9, they've been saying that since like 1985.
Well,
I don't. Does anybody listen on the AM?
There's a significant amount of audience on the AM still, believe it or not.
So why not listen on 106.9 with a crisper signal? You don't have an FM radio? I don't know.
For a lot of the older folks, they might like the AM.
It does travel farther, though.
Yeah.
You can pick that up. And we know we have listeners down in the Cortland area and different places we've heard from. So I'm guessing that's what do they call it when it bounces, Tom, that signal?
Skip.
See, I knew you would know. You're a radio guy.
Bounces off the ionosphere.
But you can listen on the app. You listen live on iHeart all the time. Anyway.
I tell you, the one time that my friends and I, because I grew up in the Valley, obviously. You've
never mentioned that.
So we went up Dorwin Avenue, and that's where the towers are.
I know right where that is. The little building I know right where that is.
And the big, huge AM towers.
You can fish near there.
And I didn't know when I was younger. When I was 8, 9 years old, I didn't realize those things are energized. You don't want to go touch, and they got fences around them, and the cops caught us just as we were going inside because we wanted to see what was going on. Yeah, me and every other kid down there, right?
Yeah.
So I learned fast. And geez, really quickly, before we talk to Amanda, why don't you tell us a little bit about Safe Harbor Wills and Trusts?
If you haven't updated your will, you should do it with them. How's that? Is that quickly enough?
Well, that is quick.
They're very. They
got a workshop coming up in February.
They got a workshop coming in February. Safe Harbor Wills and Trust. You can go to that, or just call the 370-9977. Folks, friends of the show know John. Maybe been putting it off, thinking about it. You're not getting any younger. Right. I know you're not. I'm not.
Absolutely.
370-9977, or just go to the website. You can send a question, and they'll help you. So safeharborwillsandtrust.com, Tommy.
There we go. Amanda Vitale is with us right now, executive director of the CNY Regional Market. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Very good. It's nice to see you. You got a little bit of a tan going on. You do a little vacationing lately?
Just got off the flight last night.
Oh, really? It was that recent,
Yeah.
huh? Very good. Well, it's good to have you back, safe and sound. And how has winter been going over at the market?
Yeah, so I think we've been a little bit blessed this winter. We've only gotten a little bit of snow
it hasn't been
so
terrible
that's good.
snow.
Yeah. Which I'm hoping we get that lucky throughout the duration. But no, the winter market's been great, and we've got some changes this year, and so far they've been very successful.
What changes? What's going on?
Yeah, so for the first time ever, we've decided to close the market on Sundays just for January through April. And we have combined our winter farmers market with our winter flea market. So they both take place now on Saturday from 7 a.m. to 2 p.m.
Wait a minute.
I didn't know they were separate things.
Yeah, okay. I do. I'm a fan. I've been a fan since I was a kid. And
most would say a fanny.
Well, that's true, too. A bit of the backside. But so there's more to, on a Saturday, there's more to explore. Is that a fair?
Yeah, absolutely. So now the farmers market is going to be pretty much located in A through E, with the flea market vendors being in E through F. And it's a really great opportunity to get to the market. You just one stop at the market, and you can get all of your farmers market and flea market goods for the winter. In May, we'll reopen for Thursday and Sunday, like always. Okay. It's just a little bit of a change for the wintertime, and so far it's been very successful and great for our flea market vendors as well.
How are fleas selling this year?
Well, hopefully you don't pick them up at the market. But
Nice. Actually, Joe Scrippa frequents the market every week, and he went down and he blessed us with some T-bone steaks.
Did he
because
really?
He knew I was eating all the meat.
Oh, wow.
He goes down every week and gets his meats at the market.
And
loves it.
Joe, a friend of the show and a personal friend, we'll talk. Like on Saturday, we're like chatting. He goes, Stevie, I'm going down to the market.
Yeah.
He just, and there's a lot of people that is the habit. And it's one of my habits, actually, too. Not as much in the winter, okay, but certainly from about July on, oh my gosh, I can't stay away.
Do you notice any different vendors down there? Like, you've probably seen a pattern of what types of people sell there at the market.
Yeah.
Anybody new, anything interesting we want to tell people about?
So basically when we get into the winter months of the market, you don't get to see as much of like the fresh, locally grown produce because it's snowing.
Well, yeah.
You will still find a little bit of it, as some people do have like hydroponics or greenhouses, which is really great. But when you're looking for things like meats and honey and jams and fresh made goods.
Maple syrup. Don't forget our friends at Maple Syrup.
Oh, yeah.
Don't forget my friends at Maple Syrup.
Those are great items to come by, as well as crafts. And now on Saturdays, you can get your antiques and other used items. So it's really a great place. I love when you talk about like buying T-bone steaks.
Yeah.
Buying meat at the farmer's market is probably one of my favorites because it's the freshest meat you can get.
Absolutely.
And you can tell people that sell there are engaged. They're not just like, we bought it, we sold it.
Mm-hmm.
These people like...
Yeah, it's not a resale.
There's such a... They'll tell you things you didn't even want to know about the way it's fed, the way it's grown,
yes.
And it just makes you feel better about so much of it is organic, and I use that word loosely, but I think, is that fair? There's a lot of organic or grass-fed, or I don't even know the difference.
I would say more wholesome, if you want to.
There's a word.
So even if some of the farms aren't necessarily organic or certified organic, the processes that they use on these local family-owned farms or these smaller farms, and you're not buying from these commercial grocery store, just the whole process is more wholesome, and you're more engaged in the process of getting your food because you're working face to face with the people that are producing it.
Sure, makes sense. Now, I just got a call from my friends at Craft Producers out there in Vermont, and they booked me again for the Syracuse Wine Festival.
Oh, yeah.
To DJ that.
Yeah.
And that'll be happening in April?
Yes.
So what other events? That's a huge event, by the way.
Yeah, that's so we have some other events going on, but that's probably, I think, our biggest one for this winter season.
Yeah.
And that one will be kind of different. We had to get creative with that one because for the first time we're going to have the farmers market and flea market open in April. So
it'll be at the same time.
Yeah, so it's going to actually be operating during the market.
Oh, but I better get there early for loading.
So that kind of makes it fun, though.
Oh
too.
yeah, there's a lot to see.
The variety of it. There's a lot more to do.
Absolutely.
The flea market, I don't know, Tom, you said like your necessities at the flea market or something. I'm like, who needs, those aren't necessities. But it is fun to wander through and go, hey, I had a sled that looked like that. And a lot of conversations based on older things and some fun people.
We also have vendors on the flea market who sell things like soaps and some necessities too. So really, whatever you're looking for now when you come on Saturday, you're going to find a little bit of everything. And when you come for that wine event, you're going to have all of our vendors focused in A through E. And then this wine festival, there's just going to be so much to offer.
That was packed stem to stern last year.
Yes.
Both things.
Yeah.
Now, we went home in between.
Yep.
But now I might be inclined to stay and then do the flea market,
and
go shopping. Yeah.
No, but now that you're 100% carnivore, you've got great carnivore options down there.
Yes, which would be nice, yeah.
No, seriously. And I sometimes I hover and I'm like, should I do something? There it is. I don't know, but like the fresh fish and things.
Yep.
I just love the options, and every week I get an email from one of the fish vendors that I forget her name. It's a lady,
Nancy,
and it's like, here's what we got this week.
Oh, nice.
And we've got red snapper, which I happen to love, but they don't always have it. But there's such a
where are they getting it from though? They must have it shipped in.
Salve. It's in Onondaga Lake, Tom. It comes from the ocean.
Yeah, that's an ocean fish. fish.
Yeah, they troll right in front of the amphitheater. They find them there. No, but it's they bring it up fresh, and I don't know.
I think those folks, they actually go and pick it up fresh from the fish market, so it is still very fresh fish.
Down in New York, probably, right?
Or Boston or wherever.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure on that, but I do know fish does have to be frozen to sell it on the market.
It does.
So
okay.
Same with a lot of the meat.
Yes.
So you are finding that it's going to be frozen, but it's still way fresher than what you're getting at the grocery store.
Well, it's once frozen. I think that's what they actually call it.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
It's once frozen, so they pull it off and boom, it's like frozen quickly, and then when they bring it back, it's kind of thawing while it's there.
Yeah.
And I just made myself hungry, Tom. But the market is great, and I know your dad was part of it for so many years. Tell your dad we said hello.
Absolutely.
And I don't know. I just, who doesn't love the market? If you don't love the market, you haven't been there.
Well, get down there, and now you got all Saturday to take it all in, soak it in like a big sponge. Well, thank you very much. Amanda Vitale right there. She does a great job, and when I come down there and look for you, don't pretend you don't know me.
Okay.
Because they do that when I'm with Steve all the time, you know. It's true. We don't know you.
You'll have that.
She's the executive director of the CNY Regional Market. Have a great rest of the day.
Thank you.
Okay, Jason Eichin is coming up next, COO of Rubberstone, New York. Stick around for that on The Local Show.
The Local Show, featuring conversations with business owners, employees, and local business leaders about their successes, challenges, and reasons for doing business. Right here in Central New York. The Local Show is locally produced by Zoey Advertising. Now your hosts, Tom and Steve.
All right, we're back at it again. The last bastion of great talk radio for 2024. You're listening to it here with The Local Show, where we champion local businesses. What could be more noble than that?
We are the last bastion.
Yeah, it might be. You never know.
So you know, Tom.
Have you heard some of the others?
Well, yeah. So are you ramping up for Valentine's Day? You're going to buy Kelly, like, a big, huge diamond to show your love?
Yeah, no. No, we're not big jewelry people in general. However, Nicholas seems to be. Really? So he took his earnings from the year and some Christmas gift money.
Gave it to a girl?
No, he went out and bought a $300 watch over at Kay's.
Really?
Yeah, I'm like, what are you doing, at the mall? And I'm like,
that's an emotional buy right there.
Yeah, he loved it. It's really
no offense to the folks at the mall, but if you want to pay too much, head right over to the mall.
Well, he said he talked the guy down from like $500. Like, really, Nick? Come on.
You gotta, when you don't know what you don't know.
No, but he's happy, I guess.
I was talking to Stephanie over at Blake over at Township 5.
Right. Does she have watches?
She has watches. She does. And no lie, the more we talk with her, the more I realize that the markup on diamonds and all those things is absolutely crazy. And but she's her whole thing is diamonds for less. And it's true. But I bought Judy some stuff for Christmas over there, and they really are. And it's her. You're dealing with a person, not some national chain with 50,000 layers of markup.
Yeah.
But they're designed right now. Everybody's like designing. I guess back in the day, we used to pop the question with a ring. Now, what couples do is they design them together.
Sure.
And they go in the AutoCAD system. She's got it all there, and they can add this and add this. And if you want to save a little money, maybe go to a different gold, and you can do it all right. It's not
kind of fun,
what I was used to, but it's pretty cool stuff.
Good.
Pretty cool stuff.
Well, let's send people over there. All right, Jacob Eichin is here with us right now. He's the COO at Rubberstone, New York. Jacob, did you get a boost in your title there?
You got it.
Yeah, you were like marketing before.
So you're a coup.
Yes, he's a coup. That's good. How long have you been with Rubberstone, New York?
Ever since COVID, so about 4 years now.
Oh, gosh. Yeah, that's fun. Good to mark time by COVID, isn't it?
Why do we do that?
It's a bit higher than you think.
Yeah.
No, it's like BC. Is that COVID? No, that's before COVID, after COVID.
Jacob, what do you like about Rubberstone, New York? I mean, why would you stick there and then become the COO?
Well, it's just a great bunch of people to be working with. John and Tasha still being super involved, but we try to cultivate that local community network. We get so much from word of mouth and just dealing with ongoing customers as well as the referrals. It's just such a nice way to do business.
Yeah. Why don't you tell people what Rubberstone is? We always get Natasha's take on it, but from your perspective, what is Rubberstone and why should people give the office a call?
Yeah, sure. Rubberstone is a bonded rubber granule system for overlaying hardscapes. So we're able to cover over concrete. It's most of our work, but also asphalt, wood, or even paving stones. So we're able to take existing hardscape surfaces, no matter what condition they're in, and usually get them looking super good and repairing the damage, giving you something that's going to work really well for Central New York's challenging climate.
Did you guys have much chance to install that new product that kind of goes over grass and stuff too, like it can extend a driveway?
Oh, sure, the Vuba stone.
Yeah, it's a Vuba.
I'm glad
yes.
he had a blank look for YouTube listeners. Where's Tom going? Vuba rhymes with tuba. Yes,
by Vuba.
No, we're still making sure we understand the whole system. We've got some more opportunities to work with other installers this year, so we're hoping to start putting that in Central New York. It is going to be really nice, but like I said, we've got uniquely challenging conditions here, depending on the whole global network. We got just such a great winter here that we want to make sure everything works out for our clients.
Now, are you still installing Rubberstone into garages even in the winter?
Not so much in winter. We're doing a lot of basement work these days. A heated indoor space we can still work with, but we do need to have the warmer temperatures for outdoor work. So
I see. So
we're just picking up jobs for the springtime.
Yeah. So people can come out, or people can't come out.
They can.
They can call.
They do all the time, Tom.
Yeah, and get a free estimate on some of the outside work.
You got it. Yeah, we're still running appointments.
Okay. Now, down in the basement, tell us what goes on down there with Rubberstone. What kind of a product?
Oh, sure. So when you're doing something like a gym or a playroom, especially for kids, the rubber solution's really great. But we do have the Sierra Stone line. That's that natural river gravel that's bonded. So we're able to do so much ornamental work with that. And that's a really great system for the basements around here. We've had so much wetness in the summer, especially up in north, that I did get a lot of calls, and we've put in a few new family rec rooms down there.
So if they have a basement full of stuff, what do they do with the stuff?
Sure. Well, it's a nice system to be able to do it in a 2-day install. We can do half, let it cure up, and then come back later. So that pool table doesn't need to come all the way out and come back in.
Oh, so drag all the stuff to one side of the room.
You got it.
Do your thing. You put it in. It comes in different colors too, right? I always think black. Is it? But I know it does different colors, right?
Oh yeah, no. Especially for indoor stuff, we got a whole rainbow of colors if we're doing the rubber, and then the natural gravel comes in all kinds of different patterns, and we can mix and match. So
they can then drag the pool table and all the other stuff. Ready, shift, bring it to the other side, and then you do the second side.
You got it.
So it dries. So it doesn't. It dries that quickly?
Yeah. Typically we're back there within the same week to do the second side. So if we have to do it in 2 parts, you're looking at more like a week and a half to 2 weeks, but otherwise it's about a week's worth of work.
And then if for people who might not want the whole basement done, would you do like just a rec room area or somewhere where people have fitness equipment?
Oh, sure. Yeah. We'll do different systems in different areas or just cut it off on a threshold. It's really versatile stuff, and it just sculpts so well. So that's what lets us get into those areas where there's damage or places where it's nice and sharp. We can make it look even better.
I was out at the State Fair this last year, and I saw some of the product that you guys have installed in certain areas. But then I thought of Tom's driveway. Not your driveway, your sidewalk, right, Tom?
Oh yeah, the sidewalk. We did have pavers, and the pavers were kind of crumbled, and we had a quote on that. And I thought, geez, do I want to do pavers again and then have all the weeds pop up in between sooner or later? And that's when we decided to do Rubberstone, and it's been, I don't know, it's been like 3 years. And there's not a mark on that thing. It's perfect.
Do you run the snowblower over it, or what do you do?
I used to, we ran the snowblower over it. We've shoveled it. We've, walked on it. We've done everything with it. And like you've told Natasha before, too, when the sun hits it and it's just a little snow on there, it melts it right off. The kind of, does it retain warmth or something? Or is it...
Oh, yeah. Well, you create an insulating envelope because you're creating a little layer that's separate from the rest of the environment, but also because it is porous. Black ice just can't form on it. Once it gets warm enough to melt, it goes inside and starts trickling away. And then once it refreezes, you've got that high traction surface that you're walking on instead.
Yeah. Do you do much with front foyers? Will you put Rubberstone in somebody's foyer in the house?
Yeah. Aside from basements, I think mudrooms are probably
mudrooms
and laundry rooms is probably
yeah.
the primary area because it's a nice place, gets a lot of traffic, and you want to do something that's going to hold up for wetness and coldness. Rubberstone and Sierra Stone are great for there.
Yeah. I wished I'd put that. I put tile in my old house in my mudroom.
Yeah.
And it was always slippery, pretty, but it was like slippery when it was wet, and it just was the wrong absolutely the wrong thing. And it looked nice when it put down, but yeah.
I like that you're talking laundry room. That might be a great solution for people that might not be thinking about that right now, instead of going getting the click floor stuff, because you get that, and then if you do have a leak, which invariably sooner or later washing machine, it's terrible, and then it gets under the substrate.
No, it's a mess. You guys doing the home show this year?
Oh yeah, we'll be there. We're also looking at going over to Rochester and doing theirs as well. So we'll have a busy month.
Oh my goodness!
Weekend after weekend.
Yeah,
home shows right in the tournament, middle of March, right, Tom?
St. Patty's Day usually is.
So people can touch it, feel it, smell it. Does it smell?
It does not smell. No. And it's zero VOC, so it's not emitting anything nasty.
Really? Is it zero off-gassing? I didn't know.
I wish Tom was.
Yes, no. Well, since I've been on the carnivore diet, I haven't had as much gassing. Not as much fermentation, you know what I mean?
I do.
You can see lots of colors and things like that at rubberstoneny.com. Rubberstoneny.com. That's Jacob Eichen. Jacob, do you answer the phones over there?
I do. I'm on the other end of our email and our phone, so get a hold of me and I'll answer all your questions.
Just like the everything guy, COO at Rubberstone, New York. Thank you so much for your time, and you have a great rest of the day.
Oh, such a pleasure.
Okay. Kicking off hour number 2 of the local show, we're going to have a conversation with Donna Shane. She's the co-owner of Syracuse Dog Fence. George Powers stops by, owner of Powers Accounting. Sheila Ostrom, owner of Senior Home Care and Alzheimer's Solutions. We'll have a conversation with her. And then Norm Whiteman is the president of Wight-Ox Enterprises, and he brings us the New York Sportsman Expo. That'll be coming up in hour number 2. It starts really soon. Stick around.
The Local Show, featuring conversations with business owners, employees, and local business leaders about their successes, challenges, and reasons for doing business. Right here in Central New York. The Local Show is locally produced by Zoey Advertising. Now your hosts, Tom and Steve.
Welcome back and welcome in. This is hour number 2 of The Local Show. Get ready for engaging interviews with Donna Shane, co-owner of Syracuse Dog Fence, George Powers, owner of Powers Accounting, Sheila Ostrom, owner of Senior Home Care and Alzheimer's Solutions, and Norm Whiteman is the president of Wight-Ox Enterprises and brings us the New York Sportsman's Expo. Right now, it's our pleasure to talk with Donna Shane. She's a co-owner of the Syracuse Dog Fence. How are you there, Donna?
I'm wonderful. Good morning, Steve. Good morning to you also, my love.
Thank you. Isn't she wonderful?
She
you
is.
can tell she's from Long Island. They got that kind of...
I got that little twang.
Yeah.
Until you get her mad, and then the words all change, and
Well, yeah.
I'll behave.
She'll start to call things the city and the island, like there's only 2 of those.
There are.
Oh, goodness.
There's only the Syracuse, too.
The dog fence has been working wonderfully for the Soccocio household.
That's good.
And
I'm glad to hear that.
Well, the disappointing thing is that they stay in the yard. And I was hoping to get rid of Mikey by now.
Mikey's just...
Oh, God. We got to get all his teeth pulled, the back teeth.
Oh, no.
Yeah, he's got an infection, and I'm trying to weigh euthanasia from the other surgery, and I don't know.
Well, he's what? He's 14 now, too?
Maybe he's 13. He's 13, yeah. So, he's just fat and obnoxious. But, I guess my wife tells me, well, he's been in the family forever.
She says the same thing
about me.
She says the same thing about you.
I said, how do you compare that? But anyway.
So wait, what was the process when you got your fence?
Well, we've got the 2 dogs because we got my daughter's dog, which is very spunky, and, she's only like 3 years old. But both of them will go out into the backyard, and now that they're trained, and they will not even go near leaving. Like if I'm standing there with a T-bone steak on the other side of the fence, waving it, Mikey won't even come over. So that's good.
Living out in Fenner, we have a lot of open air around us.
Yeah.
And now with the snow around, you can see that nature, the footprints from the deer and the rabbits and everything are skirting our property.
Yeah.
And there's parallel lines.
Where the dogs go
and where nature goes.
You bring up a good point because we get deer in the backyard all the time, fox, and Layla loves the squirrels. So she will go, and sometimes she'll just bolt out of the back door, right? Going right for the little gray squirrels. She gets right up to the fence, stops herself.
So it's like a cartoon.
Yeah, it's like a cartoon. Yep.
You used to tell me that about Zoey.
Zoey would do that, except Zoey wasn't bright enough to know that squirrels went up trees. So she would run, the squirrel would go up the tree, and she'll run around the tree, never look up. It disappeared. It's just gone. And the squirrel's just like right above her head, but she didn't see it.
So and believe it or not, cats do the same thing. The only thing, the difference with the cats is we have to make sure that the line isn't anywhere by a tree, because the cat will be able to climb up the tree and get over the wire at that point.
And the other thing I like about the collars that you have, the rechargeable collars, first of all, they last for a very long time. I don't have to recharge. And, if Mikey disappears from around the house and like we're nervous or anything, I just give a little, they have a control called Nick, and I just hit the Nick.
That's a nice thing. Yep.
So your son's name's Nick. Why is the control called Nick?
I don't know.
Because the Nick is just, no matter how long you hold that button down, it's only going to correct the dog once.
Yeah.
There's a continuous button on there also that if you hold it down for any length of time, it'll do a pulsation of that correction.
Very nice.
Then the third button, which is the one that we typically tell people to use initially, is just the sound. So if the dog is not responding to your audible, you give them the sound as long as you're connected to it. A lot of times the dogs will respond only to the sound.
They do. That is a very true thing with our dogs. They'll just respond to the sound.
You've got little dogs. I've heard people say, well, I've got a bulldog or a pit bull or some moose. Are they more likely to just kind of say no? Are they harder to train?
Not at all. What's harder about the difference, little dogs are harder to train than big dogs because people tend to excuse inappropriate behavior on a small dog because they're so cute and so lovable. Whereas a big dog, that dog is going to be a big, bullish kind of dog. So you're right on top of whatever behavior is. So the dogs learn your tone, your voice tone, along with the fencing. So when they... Pit bulls train like before the end of the first experience to the fence. That dog is already learning that as soon as it hears that sound and feels that sensation, its reaction is to turn around and walk away from it. They're extremely trainable, and that's why they're used for inappropriate things.
Right. What made you want to get into pet containment?
Well, Stan and I were looking for a business to do of our own back in 2000, and I am a nurse. I was a nurse for 20 years already.
Wow.
And Stan was a project engineer. And we were like, we just want to be able to have our own time.
You wanted some independence,
right.
Yeah.
And we both love dogs, and we needed a fence because when I moved in with Stan, he had this lovely black lab blue tick named I can't remember his name now.
Let's call him Dog.
Dog. Anyway, long story short, he needed a fence. Stan, we went and saw Invisible Fence. We saw that other company.
Yeah, no, that's fair. They're one of the people in the space.
Well, they were the main one in the town, in the community.
People call it an invisible fence, like they call a
Kleenex
or a Xerox or something like that.
Understood.
Okay, so we needed the system.
Right.
We saw them. We were not comfortable with the information they gave us, but we understood the concept. So Stan went online and found that there was another company at the time that was looking for dealers in the area. So we said, it was really less expensive to buy that whole package than it was to have the other company install for us.
Right.
We installed the first one. We saw that how
unhindered the dogs were?
Thank you. Yeah.
Because that's what I was thinking.
How easy it was for the dogs to be trained, and that there really wasn't this big, long experience that the other company had let it out to believe.
Right.
Put the fence in for ourselves, trained our dog, and then we said, well, let's put up a plaque and see what happens. let's go, let's
start a business.
Yeah. And within a year's time, Stan had gone full-time. Within a year and a half, I stopped being a nurse, and I went full-time with it.
A couple thousand fences later? I mean, it must be. I mean, a lot of fences.
Yeah. We've got over 3,000 fences now in the ground.
That's a lot.
Of those 3,000 fences, we've got maybe 30, 40 veterinarians and their staff members as clients.
That keeps the staff members safe and in the yard?
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Well, I don't think you can emphasize that enough. For some people who might be naysayers or, hey, this isn't work. That's 30 or 40 veterinarians. That's real stuff where you can call them up and say, well, what do you think? And they'll tell you that this is legit.
And they will. They say, tell people to call us. We'll let them know what we feel. Yeah. And a lot of times when we get estimates, people calling for information, we'll say, who's your veterinarian? And if it's one of ours, we'll say, hey, give them a call, or, ask one of the vet staff, what they think about us.
Right.
What has made Stan and I stand out among some of the other companies out there is us. Once you become our client, you become a family member.
We don't leave you alone, Tom. So with Zoey,
very annoying.
So they came, and then and same with you. They trained and they retrained. Mm-hmm. And Syracuse Dog Fence has a little different perspective than some of the people. Because I went shopping, I didn't know these guys, and I went looking and had talked to other companies, and it's fair that it was them. and I connected with them, and I just loved it. And we're not in that home anymore, so we don't have the need for that. We're in an apartment right now. But the way that worked, we just absolutely loved it. And if people have a dog, go to the SyracuseDogFence.com. Talk to these guys. You go online, you're going to see 100 companies doing it.
Right.
But Syracuse Dog Fence, and then you can have a conversation. I know you guys will do quotes over the phone and everything. So Stan's direct number, call Stan or Donna. This is their direct number. This is Stan's cell number, 315. Tom, that's the big area code.
The big area code.
Here's a real hard number to memorize: 415-5555.
Yep.
So write it. Take a Sharpie. I'll write it in your fridge. 315-415-5555. You'll probably get Stan, but Stan and Donna, thanks for coming.
You're welcome. Thank you very much for having me on again. I appreciate it.
You got it, Donna. All right. George Powers is coming up next. He's the owner of Powers Accounting. Stick around for some tech stuff right here on the local show on 570 WSYR.
The Local Show, featuring conversations with business owners, employees, and local business leaders about their successes, challenges, and reasons for doing business. Right here in Central New York. The Local Show is locally produced by Zoey Advertising. Now your hosts, Tom and Steve.
We are back again, and we're so happy that you tagged along, making the most out of these winter days, because, and it hasn't been that wintry, so we really shouldn't complain. By now, it's usually like we're deep into ice.
I'm ready. You know what I'm ready for, Tom?
Ice spring.
No.
What are you ready?
I think it's time for another vacation for Steve.
Oh, yeah, sure. You should take one.
It is.
All your team members believe so, too.
The further you're away, the better it is.
I laugh, but it does seem that the people are more relaxed when I'm gone. Tom, that's not true, is it?
Yes, it is true. No, I don't know why you would ever think that.
Oh, well, it's all fun and games until...
No, you're a great guy. You've got a big... it's because we love you, we don't want to be with you.
A big what? A big... I was going to... Big heart. Okay.
It's like when someone explains something like, it went really well... And then you could feel a big butt coming. But.
That's why we say anytime someone says but, ignore everything that came before.
Right. Yeah. That's true.
Yes. This is an exciting show, but look who's here.
It was going to be exciting, but now you're stuck with me.
George Powers is back with us. He's the owner of Powers Accounting. You can see all about what George does at gpowers.com, but we're going to enlighten you a little bit and give you his history and let you know what he's doing.
We should have some kind of overlay music there, like
Yes, I will. I'll put some angels in.
There we go. That works.
Didn't you used to get in trouble in school, George?
Oh, I was always in trouble in school.
That's good.
I was not a good rule follower. And,
well, now you're all about rules, right? You have to always be concerned about how long have you been.
But also how to get around those rules.
Yes, the right way without getting indicted.
There's a big creative. You be creative. Follow the rules. We just use them creatively.
Yeah. So, how long have you been doing the Powers accounting thing?
Oh, good gracious, too long. Let's see, about 28 years, something like that.
Very nice. Good.
Something of that nature.
Good. Yeah. And nobody's run with their hair on fire, run away from you or anything?
Not that I'm aware of. If they did, they made it away so I didn't see them. So.
Right. Well, what's new for 2024? What should people be doing if you own a business at this point? What are you doing in the business world? We
are right now entering 2024, like you said, and it is a perfect opportunity to get on the right side of the year. We can either wait for the year to happen to us or plan for it. And so right now is the time to set your budget. Get a budget because it's a good way to start. What are you going to have in sales? What do you have your expenses? It's a good plan.
80% in marketing.
Is that the plan?
80% of the annual sales in. Okay, just check it. Just make sure that's on the list. That's the rule.
Well, then after you have your marketing budget, how are you going to? Do you have the team to do the extra work as the work comes in the door? But also plan. What's your 5-year plan? What's your vision thing? What's your future? Then back. What's your 24-month framework? What are you about to do in the next 24 months? Make a plan. Because that old saying that if you don't know where you're going, any way will get you there.
George just brought a whole box of platitudes.
I always do. So I even brought a book for you, Steve. It's a framework. It's what we use for. It's a groundwork for our 24-month framework plan, where we start with what is the vision of the company. We come out. What are the values? What are the 3 to 4 values a company wants to have, and define them. What is the culture that you want your company to have, and define it. And then you start from there as a base. What is your company? How do you want it to act? And then you start building from there. Where do you want it to be in 5 years? You can't do a 5-year plan too far out, but you put the goal out for 5 years, and then you back it back. You got a 24-month frame. Where are we going to go from there? How are we going to build it? And then each month, what's the one thing you're going to do that month? Just one.
That sounds,
one thing.
That sounds wonderful.
Sounds like a lot of work.
Okay.
Did you write the book?
I did not.
Oh, okay. I thought
a friend of mine, Dave Evans from Scotland, wrote it.
Okay. But unless they're engineers or egg-headed math people like you, aren't most entrepreneurs a little nuts to begin with? I mean, isn't it like herding? You just describe all the things entrepreneurs kind of intuitively are not, right?
It's something that we have to work towards. You're right. Many times entrepreneurs are a different group of people, and that's okay. They allow a little more risk into their lives. They want a little bit more than just a job. And some of these things are hard. And that's why we work. We're used to working with entrepreneurs. We help them build that. How do you make a plan? How do you go forward in the future? What are your strengths and your team's strengths? I know a common error that many, many entrepreneurs make is when they hire a team, they try to hire people like them.
Yeah.
And most entrepreneurs make terrible employees.
Sure.
And so you hire somebody like yourself, they're just not going to do the job right.
I don't even like people like myself. They're annoying. They're annoying. They never shut up. They always are changing the conversation.
And it's something that, as entrepreneurs, as business owners, that we all need to learn. How are we going to do some of these things that we may not otherwise want to do? Yeah. It may not be natural, but it doesn't mean we have to be great at it. It used to be, if you have something you're not good at, learn how to be good at it. That's old school. And now it's go with what works for you. And most entrepreneurs have vision. Where do they want to take the company? Where do we want to go? Work with that.
Tom, you struggled with that when you had your DJ business.
Well, yeah,
right?
When the DJ business was full time, yeah, sure, I did because I learned that I liked performing more than I liked managing. Mm-hmm. So I became an employee of myself, and then there was nobody to run the business. You say
that's one of the challenges, and it's a decision that every business owner needs to make. Is okay. I just want to do it myself, and that's all I want to do. And you understand, okay, you're not going to be as big. You may not make as much. You may not have. That's okay. There's not a darn thing in the world wrong with that if that's what you want to do. Mm-hmm. But if you say no, I want to do more, then you have to start taking yourself out of some of those areas where you can be most easily replaced, and putting yourself in a place that you are not easily replaced.
You know who's doing that? I called up Loris Rigdon from. Yeah. And because my shoulder was hurting, and I wanted to get in there for some of the, show me how to do exercises for my rotator cuff. And he said to me, hey, Tom, I really appreciate you calling, but I don't do that anymore. I'm not practicing, and I'll hook you up with one of my people in the practice and all that because he's busy running the business.
He did, and I was hanging with him a couple weeks ago, and Judy's over there getting, by the way, getting some back PT stuff. She's like, this really works.
Right.
But I called Loris. He's like, well, hey, I've got a whole team of people.
Sure.
And at first I'm like, really? Because
I wanted him.
But you know what? Look what he's able to help more people.
He's got Lars has more offices and more people, and he's got a good group of people. You don't want his hands on your back.
Right.
He's got other things to do.
Exactly.
He's still licensed. He still can if he needs to, and he knows the business. But now he's moving on. I forget how many clinics he has now. What, 6 or 7?
He's got a bunch of them.
He's got quite a few locations now. And that's
an example.
It's a great example. He's decided to make a change in where the business is going. He can now have a system that treats more people and does it in a very effective and professional and helpful way.
So tax-wise for 2024, anything coming down the pike that people need to be aware of that's new?
A definite maybe.
That's clear.
There is a bill that is right now sitting in Congress that is being discussed.
Oh, that'll never go.
That may or may not pass. So we don't know. There's been a whole lot of great discussions about changing things. They
like
might
tax reform?
Some amount of tax reform. Some things need to be. There's a number of the tax laws right now that are going to sunset in 2025. Are they going to extend them? What are they not going to extend? This year, the big thing in 23. There's some new credits. There's energy credits. If people make changes to their homes, they can get credits back on their taxes. If they buy the EV, the electronic vehicles, so there's some credits for that.
What about a hybrid?
Most of the hybrids not. They have to be. They have to qualify under a couple different things. But you can also buy a used EV electronic vehicle and get some credits on that. Not to the same level.
You can use those towards replacing the $30,000 battery on the used vehicle. Sorry.
So it's a decision whether you want the electronic vehicle or not is a different issue. But their credits are out there for them. So that's something that some people are taking advantage of. Like I said, the energy credits for the home. There's a number of those things that have come out and are still going forward.
Well, I love the vibe that your company has, and you look at things holistically and helping people grow their business in general, not just do taxes. So you're like a business consultant.
We try to say we're coaches.
And
accounting
like
coaches.
Yes.
Excellent. Well, that's George Powers right there, also an effective co-host. And it looks like you'll have to co-host again because
he gets on his vacation.
I'm working on it. Okay, maybe. I only take one vacation a year, Tom.
Well, Australia's a nice place this time of year. Australia,
was that a prison?
You can go there. It'll
take
everybody there. Take you a couple weeks to get there, a couple weeks to get back. You're fine. Go to Australia. All right. That's George Powers, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, George. Have a great rest of the day.
Thank you.
Okay. Coming up next, Sheila Ostrom. She's the owner of Senior Home Care and Alzheimer Solutions on the local show on 570 WSYR. Stick around.
The Local Show, featuring conversations with business owners, employees, and local business leaders about their successes, challenges, and reasons for doing business. Right here in Central New York. The Local Show is locally produced by Zoey Advertising. Now your hosts, Tom and Steve.
You found it. You found The Local Show in 2024, and we're right here on 570 WSYR, 106.9 FM, and on YouTube. YouTube getting bigger and better and weirder, so go ahead, check it out.
Do you ever lose track of time on YouTube, Tom? Like where you're looking for something, you find it, and then you're like, oh, and it shows you something, and, and then
I
suddenly
guess
an hour's gone by.
Yeah. I'm not as frivolous as you, but I'm more focused. So I go, because I follow certain people,
I have a bunch that I follow.
And I just go there.
You really deliberately go through the list.
Yeah.
Are there some you're like, people? Okay, these people are boring. Eventually you're not interested in it?
There's some, there's been some people I've canceled too. There was one guy who did an interview with somebody that I thought was just a political piece of crap. And I'm like, I don't come to your channel for politics. I come for health.
I struggled through one a few days ago, and I'm like, why did I like this? And I'm like,
I never comment, but this made me so angry that I had to comment. Okay. So I did. Not that it does anything.
No,
you're impotent.
Yeah. I was watching the Rockets shoot off from Florida.
Oh, that's exciting.
Okay, and they have countdowns and they do them live.
Yes.
All right, I've seen that.
This is a test. I'm like, okay, there's so like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Done. I'm like, that was the most disappointing. I expected at least some flames and something.
Sure.
It looked more like the exhaust coming out of a car. But you can see the live rockets.
Right.
You don't find that interesting?
No. But people.
I like watching the eagles.
Yeah. Oh, right. In the nest. Yes.
I haven't seen that.
Oh, yeah.
That's interesting though that people get that close and are able to take.
Well, they have the live cams in there.
Yeah.
Oh.
And the bears in Alaska. We were chatting about Alaska a little bit ago.
Yeah.
You can see the bears eating the salmon up in the river and stuff.
That's kind of cool. Yeah.
I'm amazed at what sucks away my time. If I get online, I try to limit it.
Yeah, you have to. So that's Sheila Ostrom in the background right there. She's the owner of Senior Home Care and Alzheimer Solutions, joining us again. How are you, Sheila?
I'm doing great.
Great. Do you have another workshop coming up here, like next week?
We do. We actually
Oh, really?
do.
Wow.
I was talking like
Tom
you're
just made that up. That was amazing.
I was thinking your big, what did you call that?
The Memory Fest?
Our conference?
Yes,
Our
conference.
conference
That was
isn't
it.
going to be until October or September of 2024.
I just wanted to scare you.
Yeah, but no, we actually are doing 2 live dementia trainings. We're doing one on the 7th of February and one on the 8th of March. And the one for the 7th is already full.
Look at that. You're so popular.
Yes.
So the info, so what are those first? Like what happens?
So the dementia workshops are meant for anybody who is caring for someone with dementia, whether they are a family member or a person working in a facility. The biggest things we get calls on is the pain points. What are the pain points of these families? My wife changes at 4:00 in the afternoon and I don't know what to do. I can't get my wife to take a shower. She's not eating. She gets really upset and angry with me and I don't know what to do to keep her busy. These are those pain points that these families have. And we actually go into detail on different things you can do as part of this training and how you can overcome some of that, because these families have nothing left. They're tired, they're burnt out, and they never have enough help.
Wow.
It doesn't matter how many family
That's
members.
got to affect the caretaker's health.
It does.
Yeah,
it does.
That can be
Especially the main caregiver, which is usually a spouse or one of the children.
Yeah.
They're usually the ones that really get burnt out because they're just so tired of trying to figure everything out.
Are these virtual or are they going to be at a place?
These ones are going to be in person at our office.
Oh, at your office. Okay, where is your office?
It's in East Syracuse on Adler Drive. We're not far from the Bull and Bear over there.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
And you know what happens on the 8th as well.
But the 8th,
Tommy's birthday.
Oh, I was going to say Galentine's Day. That's not right.
Wait, March 8th?
March 8th is my birthday. I'll be the big 6-0.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, 6-0.
I'm going to be the big 5-5 next month.
Are you really?
Yeah.
Double nickels, we call it.
Double nickels.
Double
You're
nickels.
just a couple of kids.
I'd like to say that I'm older and wiser.
There we go. So,
Yes.
but you have a weekly call. The one on the 7th is full. Don't you still have that where people can? Is it
Support
a group call? So explain that and when it is, how someone could connect with that.
So on Tuesdays every week from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. we do a support group that is done virtually. It's done on Zoom. And if you go to our website at SyracuseSenior.com, the link is there. You just click on it and you can join. And that's a free service that's for anybody who, just wants to talk about, what's gone wrong this week. And as a group, you all discuss different things. And some people, when they first start coming, don't say anything. They just want to listen, and that's okay. But as people become more comfortable, they like hearing from other people what they've tried and to know they're not alone. They're not alone in this journey. There are lots of people trying to do the same thing.
Have you found that there are more seniors popping up who need help over the past 5 years? Like if you look at a 5-year snapshot, is it growing?
Absolutely. If you look at any demographic, the increase in the population over 65 is much higher than it was. So there is more and more people that need help in the home to stay in the home, and we're living longer. So
Right.
that demographic is just huge. And And we need more caregivers and people that care about seniors and want to help them in their homes.
I met a couple of ladies who might work for another agency, but I'm putting them on to you. Over at my friend Greg's house, we had a little soiree, and I was talking with them. And
Is that where all the good food was you were telling me?
That's all that good food.
Yeah, he didn't invite me.
Greg did a stellar job. Greg and Ann. Ann was just wonderful.
Tell him thanks for the invite for Steve.
Yeah, we'll have to have you over there. If for nothing else, just to mock Steve out. But,
and it's a tight-knit community. We all know each other. All the care companies know each other.
They knew you,
If I don't have room to get someone added into our schedule, we share. We're like, try this place, because usually when they call, they're in crisis and they can't wait. So if I don't have an opening in the next 2 weeks that I know of, we try to give them another alternative if they're, they can't wait.
And these are mature women who, been around the block and they know the business. And I thought they'd be a perfect fit for you. I told them that you were outstanding. Well, you have a high degree of integrity. Mm-hmm. And tell us about the training that you give your people as well.
Yeah, our people get the same training that we're offering next week and in March. And the reason we do that is because when we work in a home with people with dementia, it is not intuitive, the things you need to do. You think it is, but it's not. So we want to give our caregivers more tools in their toolbox so that they can work with someone with dementia and do redirecting better and just do it better. When we know better, we do better.
Give us an example of something that might be intuitive.
And first of all, she is connected with TIPA Snow, which is national organization. International.
Yeah.
So, from the head down, you're learning big things.
Absolutely. And TIPA Snow just opened up her own place down in North Carolina.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So it's fun to watch her TikTok videos of things that they're doing there.
Give us a quick tip. Someone that has a family member or friend that something they may think they're doing right, but they could do it better.
Yep. So if your parent is, got dementia and they're saying, well, Dad died. Dad isn't dead. He's just on a trip. Or where's your father? Where's your father? And he actually died 6 years ago. Is a family member, you don't say, Mom, don't you remember that he died 5 years ago? She doesn't remember. Mm-hmm. So she relives that death all over again because she doesn't remember. So you say, you try to change the subject. And if you can't do that, you just say, he's out at the store. He'll be back in a little while, and change the subject.
Well, that sounds like a lie, though.
It is. They're called therapeutic fiblets. And you don't have, honestly, if you are a family member dealing with this, you really don't have a choice. You have to be comfortable with doing some of those therapeutic fiblets, because it's not fair to your mom to relive the death of her husband all over again every time she looks for him.
So even outside of dementia, could I do the fiblets to my wife now currently?
No, that would not be appropriate.
Not appropriate.
And we don't just work with people with dementia. We work with just regular seniors too.
And if someone wants to get trained, I know you're always looking for some good people.
Yes.
They can have a conversation with you, SyracuseSenior.com.
Yes.
And the 469-1000, which still sounds like a radio contest. 469-1000. The 10th caller can have a conversation with Sheila.
Yeah, just call us and say, hey, I'm thinking about I want to do this, but I'm not sure what it's all about. Give us a call.
That's wonderful. Thank you, Sheila, and you have a great rest of the day, okay?
You too.
All right. Norm Whiteman's coming up next. He's the president of Wight-Ox Enterprises, and he brings us the New York Sportsman's Expo. And then we'll talk with him next on The Local Show on 570 WSYR.
The Local Show, featuring conversations with business owners, employees, and local business leaders about their successes, challenges, and reasons for doing business. Right here in Central New York. The Local Show is locally produced by Zoey Advertising. Now your hosts, Tom and Steve.
And we're back again. We're here, so that means you are too. Thanks for joining us on The Local Show. Tom and Steve from Zoey Advertising. And we're broadcasting from the Zoey Advertising Studios. That's sponsored by Safe Harbor Wills and Trusts. You can also see us on YouTube if you want to see what we look like and what the guests look like. It's all there for your
You're really gonna let me give you some meat and make some beef jerky out of your new dehydration or whatever that thing is?
Yes, I will.
Okay, I'm going to give you this.
I wonder how the fish will be. Like,
no, I don't want to. Let's start with something.
With a beef jerky.
Let's start with road roadkill or something different.
Yes. I'll get you. I have some squirrel in the backyard.
I try anything.
Sure.
I was mentioning to Sheila between the sets, I like goat. So if your goat is missing, you might want to blame me.
Goat jerky it. Hey, we got somebody new to the show right now. His name is Norm Whiteman. He is the president of Wight-Ox Enterprises, and he brings us the New York Sportsman's Expo. New York, all spelled out, New York Sportsman's Expo.com if you want to go on the website.
It's all this weekend, Tom.
Yeah, it's all this weekend. How are you there, Norm?
Well, thank you guys for having me. Thank you.
Well, thank you for putting the show on. Now, how long have you been doing this show?
Oh, man. So this show here, I think, is year 12.
Oh, okay.
I used to do the show in Rochester at the Dome, too, before that the Dome sold. But
yeah.
This is the oldest show in the nation, 70 years old.
Great. What's your background? Where'd you come from? You were born and raised around here?
Yeah. Weed Sport. I've got property in Cape Vincent, do a lot of fishing there.
Nice.
But yeah, my background is in this industry. I've done almost everything from retail to manufacturing and distributing.
Of sportsman type equipment and everything.
Yep, hunting, firearms.
And what made you think, hey, I want to, the show looks like a lot of work. I think I'll do it.
I don't know what got into my head, but, it's, being outside's been in my blood since I think I opened my eyes. So, it's just one thing led to another, and here we are. So
nice.
There's a real camaraderie at those things. It feels like, you actually have to drive a pickup truck to go, right?
I think so.
And so it's the outdoor guys. I'm a fisherman. I don't know if you know Matt Mallory. He's a regular on the show.
Know him well.
Okay, Matt. And it just feels it's kind of like my people, not Tom. Tom, Tom lives in the suburbs. And
by the way, let's go through the vendors. Like, give us a quick list.
What are we going to find
there?
Yeah, give us the categories if you don't know the names.
I don't even know where to begin. I'll give you categories.
Yeah.
But the show has grown to be by far the biggest show in the state of New York.
Let's start. Where is it?
So it is at the New York State
Fairgrounds.
At the
Fairgrounds. Okay, gotcha.
And thank God. I mean, that venue is there
wonderful,
because it's perfect location, and the new Expo Center is gigantic.
Is it going to be in one? Is
One.
it just in the Expo Center?
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
It's a huge building.
Oh, it's big. Yeah.
So what are they going to find? What are we going to see?
You name it. I mean, I've got African outfitters, New Zealand, outfitters from all over the world. Of course, Runnings is the title sponsor for not only the Expo, but our TV shows. We have 2 TV shows too.
Oh, okay.
But so they're awesome. They come in there and they basically set up a store inside the event.
Nice.
And it's very, very popular. Then the National Dock Dogs, which
my favorite.
Really, I don't know what a dog
that is. I will get lost. My wife looks at me like, "Can we go yet?" I'm like, "Just a few more dogs."
What are the dock dogs?
They run and jump into water and chase a buoy, and how's that? How'd I do?
They fill a 10,000 gallon pool, and this is it's the real deal. It's like the Daytona 500 of
no kidding
dog jumping. So they run down the dock and off they go. And
so Tom, you got to picture it. So they get the dogs, they get them all wired and ginned up in the back room, and they're all excited, and they get all excited, and then they have the toy, and they're like, "Come on!" And they run and then launch, and it's how far they go, and they measure the distance, and it splashes, and if you sit too close, like I do, you get wet, and it's all part of the fun. And some of the dogs are little and goofy, and some of them are like huge. What makes the best dock jumping dog? Is there a brand of dog?
I got to be honest with you. I don't know.
A lot of labs. I see a lot of labs doing it and stuff.
When the doors open for this event, I don't even know what day it is.
Yeah, they just get crazy.
But those dogs are jumping almost over 25 feet.
Wow, that's a lot.
That's a long way.
Yeah. Not for a rabbit, but for a dog, that's pretty good. So, do you still have the casting competition? Is there a casting?
No,
you don't do that.
No.
Okay.
No.
Since that ugly incident,
right?
No.
When Steve wrapped around somebody's neck.
Wait, hang on. I got to find out if he's my people.
I remember.
This is an important question.
Yes, go ahead.
How many times have you had to have help removing a hook from one of your hands?
Oh my Lord! I don't even. Normally I try to do them myself.
Right.
But if I get them in my right hand.
With assistance, how many times?
Yeah, couple, 2, 3.
Yeah, I'm up to 5. Okay, it's my people. Go ahead, Tom.
The musky lures are the.
That's the barb, the string method. We all.
Yeah, that is terrible. So also there, I remember a while back you had a trick shot artist there, wasn't there?
No, there was a different.
Was it something different? Okay, all right. I thought I heard about that though.
No.
So what else? So you gonna have guns there? You gonna?
No, we don't. Maybe there's a few of them, but it's not a gun show.
Right.
So we try to cater this show for the family. And it truly works. If you come to the show, which I hope you guys do, you'll see it is family.
Camping stuff,
RVs, boats. I got 5 different boat dealers.
Oh, very nice. Okay.
I've got a pedaling kayak. The kayaks,
Yeah, kayak dealers. I got a couple of them. Got the e-bikes. And there's all kinds of cool food. That's kind of the atmosphere. Stuffed pepperoni with cheese.
Yeah, things like that.
They have beef jerky from every possible,
like that. Yeah.
There's all kinds of seasoning. People will be there. Iron skillet and a couple of
And the hours on the weekend are?
Saturday 9 to 7 and Sunday 9 to 5.
Okay.
Very nice.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you'll be able to get everything to do with the sportsmanship. I guess, right? But we don't want to confuse it with people who play soccer. It's got nothing to do with sports like that.
No, very different. Very different people.
So we also have to me, it's Greenscapes. I don't know if you guys are familiar with their landscaping company. Mm-hmm. They're the best. And so they come in there and they take some days. They build a full-blown trout pond. Big, huge boulders. They're building it right now. They got skid steers and excavators in the building.
That's nice.
They put a Jeep in there, and there's a waterfowl coming out of there.
Yeah.
So we load that with trout for the kids to fish.
Oh, you can do that. Oh,
yeah.
Good.
Can Tom do it? Because that's the only way he'll ever catch a fish.
Absolutely.
Can big kids fish there, too?
You know how to pull hooks out, right?
Yes, I do. I've got history. I can show you some.
And then we have a fun zone with all kinds of different things. So I really try to get the kids there because they're our future.
Yeah, and it's
family. For
me, it's a respite. It's winter. I'm not an ice fisherman. Oneida Lake just closed from the shores. I was chasing the walleyes till here last week. But it's like, okay, spring's going to come.
Right.
It's going to be here. This is like the midwinter. I can go out. I can walk around with all my redneck buddies. And it just feels like there's a culture there of people that love the outdoors. There's a camaraderie. There's people help each other, answer questions, and it's not like I'm feeling pushed to buy anything. I don't have that sense at all when I'm there.
And there's plenty of parking over at the On Center or with the On Center,
the Expo Center.
Expo Center.
There's no parking at the On Center.
That's right. Expo Center is just such a convenient place, isn't it?
Unlimited parking.
It's wonderful, and you got plenty of bathrooms.
Yeah,
it's just what a great place.
It's the ultimate venue with the ultimate location.
You're gonna have some Jeeps there.
Yeah, there is. McGuire's going to be there.
Right. They were on the show last week.
They were just
here last week. So
I'm thinking of a Jeep.
Krenzer Marine.
Got my chaparral from Krenzer.
Yeah, Tim is he's salt of the earth.
Yeah.
So he'll be there. And 4 others.
Excellent. Yeah. All right. Well, we'll get everybody over there.
Sportsman show this weekend over at the Expo Center at the fair.
That's Norm Whiteman right there. He brings it to you, and a local guy who's done a great job with that. Thank you so much, Norm, and you have a great show. Okay.
Pleasure was all mine. Thank you guys for having me.
Excellent, Steve. That's going to wrap things up. Now that you're all juiced up about the outdoors.
I'll see you at the Sportsman show, Tom.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, buddy. God bless you and your families. Take a walk today and every day with a friend or family member. Keeps the weight down and the mind clear. The local show is heard every Saturday morning from 11 to 1. Then again on Sunday morning from 7 to 9. You can listen together with a friend because, of course, it's more fun that way. Until next week, get down to business and keep doing business locally. Tell your friends about the local show right here on 570 WSYR 106.9 FM, the iHeartRadio app, and on YouTube at Zoey Advertising.